Damn, bro, that is insane. So yes, I got my hands on the all new dual 3.5 dual 2-inch pod for the A pillars of the Suburbans. It's going in my truck. It even works in the Silverado we just did. But as easy as that, but my truck has the flat look, and I was recommended that maybe I should put a satin coat on there. So let's just put a little satin coat for the aesthetics to kind of roll with the rest of the truck. Now, when it comes to painting these, you don't need to do much. Just clean off and, use a little tack cloth, get all the dust and stuff like that. But you could sand if you really wanted to. I'm just doing a clear coat, so I didn't really think I needed that. But if you're doing a full out custom paint job, do it as you want to. But I'm just gonna add a couple of coats of this, let it dry, add a couple of coats of the durabilities up there. So this is a couple coats of the matte finish. Might add one or two more, but it looks really, really good. So you guys already know I run the dual 3.5 in my front pillars. I've had these installed, I believe, since 2023, maybe 2022. And they have the aluminum finish. And on these ones, I didn't spring for the aluminum finish. We got the standard finish, but with the matte black, it'll match my doors and the rest of the finishes. But yeah, these are great, man. I love the position. This one shoots closer to the passenger side, and this one shoots more towards me. So I get the sound that I'm looking for, and it's equal for me and the person getting the demo. So now these have received about 4 to 5 coats of clear matte finish primer that'll add to the durability of the finish and match with all my stuff. But I will see you tomorrow when the speakers install and we get them all wired up. So another day, another dollar. Look how good these things turned out. Flat satin. Oh, love it. They've been drying. Awesome. And I've already yanked out my other pillars. They held up very well. These pillars are old and chewed up like a son of a gun. So I have been just hanging on to whatever. The Sundown BTR ones, they sounded really well. They performed really well. I like them. I like them a lot. So if you're looking for tweeters, those are some good tweeters. One added challenge to these pillar pods is that the originals had a mounting hardware towards the rear, but these do not. I guess these are just too big and there's not a lip on there to mount anything to. So I'm gonna have to get creative and go and find some 2A tape or glue or something like that. It's not impossible. It's not a problem. I haven't had one issue with the pods themselves or the speakers installed. They've been great. So now I am just going to disassemble the old pods, but what I'm going to do is put a couple small reference marks where these pods were installed on the edge of the pillar itself to let me know the lowest I can go on these new ones and we don't have any dash interference. So now that'll be a mark where I know not to go any lower on the new panel. And well, that little contour right there pretty much tells you where to stop. Checking the mounting depth I have for my 3-inch mid, I am gonna have to trim the panel. And also with my 2-inch tweeter, I'm gonna have to trim the panel too. So I'm gonna grab where the hell's my Sharpie at? I'm gonna grab my Sharpie and just mark some spots where I can trim out the minimal plastic so that I can have the clearance for the tweet and the mid. Now I have the original pods disassembled from my stock pillars. Got all the hardware, and hey, I'm gonna keep all that old hardware because you never know. That stuff kind of comes in clutch every now and again. You never know. So hey, there's your Bangin' Bros tip. Custom Speaker Pods is gonna keep on giving you fresh hardware with all your old installs. With all your new installs. So hang on to the old stuff because you never know. And so with the old pods, I'm gonna give first dibs to my boy Micah. You see him in a lot of videos. He always gets first dibs on whatever I uninstall to do something else. He gets first dibs before anybody else. If he don't want them, whatever. For my dual 3 dual tweet install, I am gonna go with 2-inch bullet tweeters, pretty generic, and a 3-inch mid-range driver. This one is 15 watts. It goes, I believe it was like 85 to 18,000 kilohertz as far as the frequency. And I got all four of them, or all 8 of them, so I can wire them to one channel of my 4-channel, my smaller 4-channel. And it'll be cool. I've never had a mid in my pillar before, so I'm kind of excited to see what that sounds like. They did come direct from China, but from what I'm reading, it says for the bangin' bros only. Have fun, stay bangin'. That's what I'm talking about, bruh. So I ran to Harbor Freight and I grabbed some double-sided mounting tape and some glue. I also have some of this silicone viscosity, thicker glue. That one of these 3 are going to help me figure out how to get the back end of those pods mounted on the plastic pillar. I started to mark a little bit lower, but once I tested where the speakers actually sit, this is where I'll have to cut the top square to give everything room, at least initially. Yeah. No one will see that, so don't worry about it. But give me some reference points. And my electric body saw. So I was able to get it started with the drill, use the body saw to knock out most of it, and then with the details, I am using a razor blade to, snip around. It's thin plastic, so it's not that big of a deal. And then test fitting the 3.5, and we have plenty of room for activities on both top and bottom. You only need a little bit, so it's not going to interfere with the actual metal of the A-pillar, which is awesome. So after cutting, I found out that the razor blade was the easiest way to whittle down all of the depth points for the 3-inch mids, 3-inch mids, 3.5-inch mids, and the 2-inch bullet tweeters. But that's what your panel will look like whenever you're all done. Your pillar will, but then that gives it plenty of mounting area in the back. Plenty of depth area in the back to just wire it up. I'm telling you right now, go get a Dremel. Because I've been whittling away with a damn razor blade like I'm in prison for the past 45 minutes. Just go get you a Dremel, okay? I'm already done one. I might as well do the other one like it. So now what I'm going to do to copy the other side, I'm going to kind of eyeball it the best I can and try to... I already knew what I had to cut for this one. So I'm just going to try to give it the same squares. So at least I'll know where I'm headed. This just gives me an idea. Once you start putting the speaker in the pod and kind of matching it up there, then you just go through there and just trim 15 times until you get what you get. So that was actually, the second one was so much easier when I did that reference back and forth. And yeah, so that tweeter fits up top, tweeter fits there, 3.5's got no problems. We only had one little hiccup on this one, and we had a, where was it? Yeah, this part of the plastic right there broke. But I went to Harbor Freight earlier to get some 2-way tape, and I grabbed extra glue. So I was already gonna have to glue the pillar mounting things on here, which it's been glued multiple times. But I've also, the A-pillars have come off multiple times. And this is the original A-pillar from 1999. 1999. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna do some glue work and let it sit overnight to cure. I will catch y'all on the next chapter so we can wrap this thing up. Hey bro, you want to get real saucy? Check out the Custom Speaker Pods Universal Pods. You can put this is an 8-inch one. You can put a speaker, any flat surface you got turns into a speaker mounting point. excellent, bro. And you can use coupon code BANGINBROS over at CustomSpeakerPods.com to get a discount on all of the universal pods. They just got a crazy price drop in the last couple of weeks, so you're gonna get them at rock bottom prices. And remember, they're all American-made plastics with American-made plastic. How you like that? Double USA, USA, USA. You feel me, bro? So yeah, let's get back to the bullshit. Come on now. So I'm back at it again the next day. This is a multi-day process because even though it's the weekend, I'm working on this. I also work during the weekend, so there's no days off when you're helping customers. So now what I'm doing right now is I'm making the little, y'all saw in the last video, I like to make little wire harnesses to make this easy. All right, there goes my wire spool. And then I will so it'll be a Y to a long lead, and that would go to one channel of the tweeters and then move on to the next one. So we have been working on the A-pillars, and that's fun, but we have a little break in the case. So I am going to be adding more speakers into the doors, and I decided to go with the beautiful platinum finish from Custom Speaker Pods. And so, well, if you got the door pods to go with the platinum, because it matches the stock gray really well, then my A-pillars need to match. In my opinion, everyone can do it the way they want to. So I went and grabbed the closest matching gray that I could to the platinum and my interior, try to find the blend of both, and then the A-pillars will be as close to matching the doors as possible. Wait till the very end after I get the doors on and everything, and you'll just see. But for now, we're changing the colors and going with a satin, what is this called? Phantom hue. That's what I'm going with. I've never tried this paint before, but it says it's good for plastic. So that's all I need to know, bro. So when you are painting your pods, the key to it is a clean, clear surface and light coats. So I'll sit here all day and just add nice light coats just to get the right coverage. You don't want to use big heavy coats. The way I do it, maybe 3 or 4 coats, nice light coats, and just let it dry in between. Let the sun hit it, and it's kind of later in the afternoon. But it should turn out really nice. I'm excited for this. Ooh, look at the new finish. All right, that's gonna match the platinum door pods that I'm gonna be getting. So much nicer. I love it. Light coats, let the sun kind of bake it. Now it's just gonna sit in here as long as it can to dry. But man, I love that. So Mike is here test fitting the mids after we painted them. Oh man, does that look dope as hell. Getting some of the wiring pre-done, getting some base blockers and some wires for the tweeters. And then we are just going to assemble the pods and kind of slap them in. You already got these wires ran, so then all we have to do is just butt connect, and get the popping off, bro. Hey, Micah had a really good point. If you use some painter's tape, set the pod where you're gonna set it, and then you can go and drill your holes. The pod's left in place, and then boom, you got your holes lined up. So we're getting ready to put the pod on, and I just wanted to add a little bit of this like acoustic foam. It's just some cheap stuff I had laying around. So we put a couple pieces in there. I'm gonna add some more just to help. You know, if it helps, it helps. If it don't, it was free, bro. Although Custom Speaker Pods had sent the black hardware, I dug into my stash and I found a bunch of the stainless hardware, and I think it's gonna go better now that we are doing all silver, you know, all the platinum stuff. Let's hope I don't run out, because I got some doors to do next. So now we're getting to the point where the tweeters are all in, and Mike has done all the hardware on this one, and now we're just putting in the 3.5-inch mids, and then those will butt into the wires that are already poked out the dash. Sick, bro. So Mike is just pre-drilling the hole so that we can put the hardware in there nice. The hardware I'm using are these stainless sheet metal screws, small, but they all match. And all my speakers in the doors, whenever we do the doors, we'll use more of the same panhead Phillips. That's what I like to use on the plastic. Never had any failures, never had any problems. Sheet metal screws. Tahoe. So we put a lot of work into this point, and they're all assembled and ready to ride. This pillar is so damn heavy. I could weigh it, but Micah was taking bets. It's 5 pounds, man. I don't know, but I don't know about 5. I don't know. It's just heavy as shit. So if you're gonna be putting these things in, make sure you got good mounting things. That's why I glued them in. If you remember from earlier in the video, I glued them in. Let's put them in though. Micah's working on that side, and then we're about to wire up this side and see what it sounds like. Holy shit, bros. God almighty. Dude, we just fired that shit on for the first time. That was increíble. Bro, that was amazing. Holy shit. What kind of difference those pillars make? Dude, I'm flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted, bro. That's what I'm fucking talking about. CSP photo win, baby. So here's the driver's seat's perspective. So you're just cruising. Wow. You know what? They're not even that. They're not like even that imposing on the my visuals on the windshield. That's not bad at all. And this one just pointing right at you. Come to Papa. Come to Papa. Damn, bro. That is insane. Holy crap. And you know, those aren't very, very expensive, very loud speakers. And I just have the right power going to them. And man, do they sound incredible. The tweeters all got a lot of power to it with the bass blockers. Jesus. Brandon, you are a magician, bro. The Podfather strikes again. So the final verdict on the A-pillar pod install. Well, it wasn't as just simple as putting on a set of door pods. It is a little bit more complex than that. So take your time and don't feel like you're rushed. I mean, you're your own client, right? If you're doing it in your own garage. But overall, the concept is so easy. It's you know, you take your panel off, you make the speakers have some clearance to fit, you put the pods on the panel, and then you put the panel back in your ride and wire it up. It really isn't that bad. Things that I would take away from it is, yes, find yourself a Dremel. That would be great. What made this project just a little bit longer is, you know, I had to wait for speakers to show up. I added a new amplifier within that same time frame. I ordered new door pods that a little bit different color. So there were some things that made that have to be a multi-day process where you could do it all in one evening if you had everything laid out in front of you. That's not the problem. I did a lot of things within the install so where it's kind of pieced together, but I made it one long video. I hope that you enjoyed the video and it was informative of how you can put these things on with minimal tools. I want to say minimal effort, but you put your effort in there, the better the outcome is going to be. We are so happy with the way it came out. I could not have asked for a better outcome. It sounded so amazing. Right there when we clicked it on and turned it on, it was so awesome. The magic that Custom Speaker Pods allows us to have in our hands and put in our ride and add extra speakers. There's almost no words that kind of, you know, can really contain all that great excitement and potential that you have for your build if pods are made for your vehicle. You know, I told you the platinum finish, so this is a little sneaky peek. We got new double 8 because he redesigned for a stronger pod, and then yeah, brother, we got the lowers in too. So it will eventually be 4 8s in each front door with the platinum finish, and I hope that matches really well. I did a test spray on this pod. This is a backdoor pod for an OBS, and the color is, of course it's off, you know, but pretty close. It's not a show truck, it's a go truck, as in we're gonna go and get groceries or we're gonna go bleed the block, you know that's the way I run my thing, you know. If you don't already, go follow Custom Speaker Pods on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. There's a Facebook group that I'm in as well. It is awesome. If you need to show off your pods, learn about other pods, you want to see the newest pods coming out, that's where you get it all. Amazing, bro. One of my favorite pages to follow, hands down. They show a lot of customer installs, and I like to see other people's creativity with their pod setup. So it is recommended to go check that out. And also, you don't forget to use coupon code Bangin' Bros over at CUSTOMSPEAKERPODS.com and get yourself a nice big old fat discount on any pod they make in any finish. Even if the pod had just dropped 2 hours ago, the discount works on it. Excellent, bro. It even stacks on top of any other sale they're running. So like currently they're doing a 10% off all standard finish pods. Use coupon code Bangin' Bros. You get another 10% on top of that. It really brings the pods down to a even more affordable price tag, which is excellent. I mean, for the work it would take to fiberglass and Bondo and wrap and all that other bullshit on my A-pillars, oh my God, this video would be 45, 50 freaking minutes long. It'd be an hour. I would have told you up front to get yourself a thing of popcorn and sit down with your thumb up your ass, because you're going to be watching a big ass video. But here I try to make this one filled with details and keep it under a certain time frame. I try to keep it under 25 minutes. But there's so many tips and there's so many things to share with you that I didn't want to leave anything out in case someone's trying to attempt to install these themselves. Right now, those A-pillar pods are available for Escalades, GM, Yukons, Tahoes, obviously Silverados, Sierras, my truck from the 2000s all the way up to 2025. So if you have one of those model rides and you want the 3322 pod in your A-pillar, not a problem, my bro. You can either DM me on Facebook or, I mean, you can hit up Custom Speaker Pods on their social media, but you're always welcome to DM me on Facebook or Instagram, and I will happily get you the link to those pods. I'll also leave it down in the description. You know, obviously, I'm on YouTube too, you know, but hey, man, I want to thank you guys for watching. I give it 2 thumbs up. If I had a third hand, I got a third leg. But if I had a third hand, I'd give you 3 thumbs up. CSP for the win 24/7, bro. Your sound system experience, it just completely changes whenever you can quadruple the number of speakers you put inside of a door. It is redonkulous, broski, redonkulous. And you know I ride hard for them. Those are my boys. The Bangin' Forever t-shirt, also available on CustomSpeakerPods.com in the merch section. And yes, you can use coupon code Bangin' Bros to get you a discount on that one too. I really appreciate all the positive feedback I've been getting lately, and that just drives all of us to be more confident in our install skills and confident in sharing all the projects that we do here, from big to small to amp swaps to A-pillar monsters. It don't matter, bro. The positivity is recognized, it's seen, and I thank you guys so much. It really means the world to me. So thank you guys. Here we go. Thank you guys again for watching. I love you guys so much. On to the next one.